again. Friends, family, new subscribers, and neighbors. I'm not going to call this 8C, but I am going to call this evaluation. I mean, I'm not satisfied, I'm not comfortable, I haven't found my way of peace. And this family struggle, this drama, this dysfunction that I'm dealing with, or how to learn how to deal with, or not deal with, whatever I'm trying to do, has really gotten me off my path. Honestly, it just really has. So I'm going to go through some motions to look at this again. There's another side of the story, isn't there? Nobody is guiltless. I need to reevaluate the way I am interpreting my ex-husband's behaviors, his word's sake, and look at his actual doings. We also have to understand that I'm a very harsh judge. Most of the things I can't tolerate are just Tuesdays. It's because I'm something. I don't know what the hell I am. So what I'm going to do is I am going to light 3 incense offerings to the big guns. The Indian temple. These are just spices and Indian smells that you would smell in a temple. This is jasmine, the scent of the goddess. And this, sandalwood, the scent of Shiva. Very strong. So we're going to invoke our friends. There's always another side of the story. There's always a truth that we don't want to face. And I need to achieve equilibrium, equanimity. Not that there's an achievement to it, nor a process to it, but I've lost my way. I've lost my space of mind, trying to stay integrated with the problems, with the fears, with the householder details. You know, what's his name? Ramdas? I don't know who he was. There was a certain teacher a while back who said, if you get to thinking you're enlightened, try spending the week with your family. I'm making any claims to enlightenment or not. But I can do see my entanglement. A lot of my arguments have been toward my ex-husband, characterizing him. I've also done a lot of complaining about my daughter through the years. On the blog. In my pleadings from the afterlife. I didn't think these thoughts through very long because I want to do as I do. I practice my Zen publicly for those who can learn from it. For myself, who in the act of doing this causes me to state things that I'll ruminate over and meditate over later. This probably doesn't have to be a long video. I'm just avoiding stating the problem. You see, my husband sounds like you could characterize him under any kinds of ways. You couldn't characterize him, oh, he's being financially abusive, oh, he's being controlling, oh, this and that. You could say those things because those are what they look like. But if you look at it from his point of view, you can't be pitiless. You can't be pitiless because you search into a person, no matter how they behave, and you try to find out their core need, the part of them that the rest of them is the shell they built around their core need or their core wound. Like the mother wound, or abandonment issues, or all things. And you can see what they pride themselves on, and clearly what my ex-husband prides himself on is providing for his family, of endless hope for their betterment. And though we might not agree with everything that he does and says, and a lot of the butthurt he has, because it's more than just butthurt, just like Athena's pain and my pain, it's a lot more than just butthurt, though we reduce it down to such simple things for the sake of fighting. What can you do with it? You can't do anything with it. He's a frustrated father. Why? Our daughter has always been something that we're not. She doesn't have the work ethic we do. She does not have ambition. Her ambitions are to take the easiest way out. Like right now, she's seeking a husband. I can't contend with the life choices. I cannot speak any strength or wisdom or do this, be independent. I have tried to preach to many a female. Many a female. Be independent. Take care of yourself. Hey, you might have to take a downgrade in your lifestyle, but that square inch is yours. It's all yours. Not that I'm praising selfishness, but then I am really selfish. So, she wants to be a mother and a wife. Fine. Fine. Be a mother and a wife. Connive such a way to capture such a man. You know, I've been around the internet a few times, and the manosphere is not in your favor. Really, it's not. And your average man, many of them don't want to date somebody with a kid. Many of them don't want to get hooked up into marriage. But Karen got guarantee that every single one of them have an expectation of the partnership of marriage. Whether that's equal working, cutting the bills, and paying the bills together, or whether that's strictly defined roles of responsibility, whatever it is. A man comes into a marriage, love or no love, wanting that partner he can rely on to keep the home fires burning while he's off there earning. He's off earning and we're keeping the home fires burning. He's off dying and we keep the home fries frying. Kind of thing. He wants somebody he can depend on, somebody when he comes home to that he knows is a person who's been setting the stage, living life, benefiting from the fruits of his provision. And they come home and they're happy to see families getting along, and they're happy to see things are in order. They're happy to know you're on top of it. They're not happy when they come home and they find the dishes are still in the sink from 3 days ago, and nobody scrubbed the toilet. The project's done. Aren't you proud? Project's done. But you gotta balance out all the time you're not attentive with the time that you're completely attentive. But I'm wasting my breath. I'm wasting my breath. Doesn't matter. And that's something like the realization I have to come to today. I'm so wrapped up in orchestrating and thinking out the presentation of various solutions to their various dysfunctional problems that I have lost my own absorption. You know? I mean, I have already been sitting in a semi-depression for the last 6 months of just sitting there wasting away. I'm doing a lot of bed rotting. That contributes also to not having a sharp mind, or to not... I couldn't even get any sleep last night. Fretting and worrying over this life, over the future. So we have a 3-year-old now. 3-year-olds are easy. 7, 8, 9-year-olds start learning lessons and making inferences on the character of their family. Start deciding who they are. Must be at this point that she decided she didn't like me and her father, because she went against every single darn thing we tried to say. No, we think we're right and we're doing the best we can, but at the end of the day, she just wants somebody to pay her way, make it so she doesn't have to work. Takes advantage. I mean, takes advantage. Will not learn or practice any kind of frugality. It is what it is, right? It's my fault too. Dharma talked about when our karmas from the times come up, we shouldn't really just go unresisted or whatnot. We should find out that, well, it just makes sense. And once it makes sense, and we see, that's the reason why I came into this practice, to deal with everything. All I can do is love the child and love my children. Love is father and me apart. And we can get mad about it. And we can criticize each other for the way that we respond and react and characterize each other. Hell, we try to point at ourselves. At the end of the day, we just so much mess that she gets to use against us, that she can use to play, because I have to start facing the idea that maybe she's very can be. She can lie. She doesn't have the same I hope she'll be alright when the grandchild grows up and starts to really test her and need her and need a whole lot of emotional fulfillment. In fact, I'm just about damned ready to change my lifestyle enough to try to squeeze more life out of myself, so I can have the opportunity to practice giving such love. But to do that, I've got to give up every single spot of this judgment, this sadness, this regret, this anger, these characterizations. These are not part of my Zen path. I will never be able to walk in a readiness and awareness to respond to every condition if I cannot get out of this state of mind. These are not my problems to solve, not theirs. My problem to solve is accepting everything without any clinging. I thought I was going to find it while I was talking to you today, but all I'm getting is a headache. How many people would say that's good meditation? I'm just spinning my circles, spinning in wheels. Yeah, I gotta jump off the track. I've done it 1,000 times. It's just so hard to do when it's so close, when it's your family. Anyway. Don't judge my ex-husband as a terrible beast of a man. He's always lost his temper several times. Some of his reasons seem justified, just overreacting. Others are so compounded, I can't tell you the difference between her resistance and his over-the-topness. It's something I can't discern. As for finding the path of least resistance, and yet not become indifferent, that's the challenge. I want to become uncaring about the outcomes that may be hidden in the future. Though I resist the heck out of the necessity for them to happen. But, like, I don't know if I ever said it before, and I probably have. When I ramble, nobody gives a shit. Nobody could put my child in front of me as the poster child for change. They never could. I would never respond to that. My bad, indeed. My terrible, terrible badness. So doing it like that, trying to approach my child like that, think of your baby, it's not going to work. found that somebody believing in me and giving me positive feedback so that I could believe in myself and my creativities, having that caused me to gain confidence enough to change here and there. But I'm trying to do that for her. I'm trying to find my way into positive talk, positive encouragement without it being toxic positivity. To tell you the truth, I don't want to be toxically positive. I want to be practically positive and really promote her when she's moving forward. But she's making several mistakes now that she's choosing to make that aren't good for the future when it comes to bite back. So, what can I do? What can I fucking do? I can only sequester myself and prepare. It's like felt like for the last 3 years. Okay, I'm worked up again. My ex-husband lives in this futile, powerless, angry, frustrated, and anxious state of mind constantly. So I suppose I can expect some of this characterization that I can do to be the expression that comes out. I'm sure somebody's looking at me and they can come up with their own. We're all puppets, aren't we? And I need to step back. I need to practice Zen. I need to get back to my duty. Get off of the practice of noticing mistakes. I need to start a practice of seeing into them. And how do you speak to the core? Pull them up through that. But the hardest part of all things is how to accept what if your child will never be capable because they don't want to. Some people have it worse than others, but everybody's affected. Everybody's affected. That's why I chose a life of meditative practice, of clarifying my mind. I get off the treadmill. I just thought it would be helpful to others too, and it is not. I think for my blog I'm just gonna go back to reading Zen books in general, because who cares? Who cares? That's how it goes. Anyway, yay! Now I get to do something interesting. My natural state can't be who cares, and it's not. From now on, I'm going to stop and realize the projection that is the rumination over my family dysfunctional dynamics. I have to find another way to poke fun at it or to exist. I don't know how Zen people do it. guess I'm finding out that I need to go back to study because I've lost my way again. As far as the heaven from the earth, I need to go back to heaven. Joshua had to go into the depths of hell to find his people and help them there. That's how I feel. Crying out to Buddha from the depths of hell. I love life. Anyway, time to meditate silently because this isn't something I can talk through yet. I haven't found my stability. That's fine. Love and light. Love each other. There's always another side of the story that you can have compassion for. Compassion doesn't lead to solutions, but it leads to understanding. I don't know. Hey,